This is Kate Baconsale. You're listening to Baconsale.
Hello and welcome to the Neighborhood Potluck. We are so happy to have you this holiday season. Oh, Mr. Joel Hilton, what have you brought here? Oh, look at that. You made some homemade divinity. What a great choice. Mr. Dunn, what have you brought? Oh, honey, you just brought some Sprites. I think we could have done a little bit better there, but thanks for bringing something, honey.
Shasta.
Yeah.
Did you say a 3-liter?
Yeah.
Where are you getting a 3-liter
3-liter Shasta. You've never had Shasta 3-liter?
It was Sprite, he said.
Yeah, well, it was lemon lime, actually.
Yeah.
Welcome to Baconsale. I'm Joel.
I'm Kent.
And I'm Zack.
We'd like to thank you for listening to our last show, The Hunger Games.
Oh, you're changing
right.
voice
yeah,
to normal now.
I was
Okay.
going to say, it's just not going to take forever. But The Hunger Games, Choose Your Own Adventure game with Matt's. We had a
Surprise
great time.
show.
It was definitely a fun thing to be involved in. I hope
Was
you
it
also
fun? Zach? Matt?
That was so funny. Yeah, and honestly,
I had
the
fun.
response was right in line with that. But I did want to call out at Crew Dutler on Twitter had some really funny gifs representing the show.
Gave us presents.
Yeah, it was pretty funny. So check those out. Follow him on Twitter. But then Shane Hyatt said, "Congratulations to Joel and his wife. I've never laughed so hard while walking around Home Depot listening to something I could only hear. Thank you for making me look like a weirdo."
Yeah.
Perfect. Yeah.
I did kiss my wife, by the way, after that show. So just so you know.
Gross. Knock it off.
At least once.
Jonathan Vascar, who celebrated a birthday last
Yes, he
week.
did. Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Me thinks the game was rigged.
Yeah.
That being said, I laughed frequently during the series of unfortunate events that unfolded in Kent's and Zach's work for Joel's glory.
Yeah.
I've talked to Matt's a few times since then, and I'm still kind of mad at him. Like, you're treating me like a friend right now? What about on the show, buddy?
I don't think it was rigged. We
it was so rigged.
We took different paths. If we did the same stuff with different results, that would have
Joel,
been
roll a
rigged.
number. You're right. You survive. You win. Go.
And you are falling right in line with by far my favorite comment from one of our favorite listeners, Verbus Vivum, who says, "The unmitigated bitterness of Kenny 3DD took this episode to the next level, and it still has not gone away."
Yeah.
Yeah, oh, no,
That's awesome.
There's a lot in Kent where we'll bring up something and be like, yeah, but what about this?
I couldn't let it go.
Yeah, that definitely was something fun to be a part of. I wish we had a video component to that episode,
Truly.
just to see the inner workings of what was happening. It was pretty fun.
Just the rage in my face.
Yeah.
Also, we have a new I Am the Listener patron.
What?
Wow.
We're so excited and confused.
Casey Cummings. Casey Cummings
Casey?
is a
Hey.
new I Am the Listener patron. He gets to sponsor an upcoming episode of Baconsale. He gets some merch. He gets access to Bacon Bits and behind-the-scenes content, and a shout-out at the end of the show. Oh, speaking of merch,
Yeah.
we have some new Christmas shirts.
Yeah, we do.
On our tpublic.com/Baconsale store.
Deck the halls with boughs of T-shirts.
And as well as another one, we have our NES one
Yes.
as well, where we did that cover that you created.
Yeah.
I'm definitely going to get one of those.
The TV logo one, we're throwing that up. I'm
Yes.
working on a Lego design as well. So,
The Rush one has got to be there eventually.
yeah, I'll try.
Baconsalia is
Yeah.
going to be up there. Our
Baconsalia.
country of Baconsalia.
Yeah, I think might have gone live as well, yeah.
But yeah,
Okay.
look over at tpublic.com/baconsale. For a limited time, they are on sale. But that's not what we're talking about today. What are we talking about today, Zach?
Well, today we are gathering to honor
back to
this
this.
honor this season. We're having ourselves a potluck advent calendar of Christmas treats.
Listen, Zach, I wouldn't just bring lemon lime soda. I would also bring chips from the bag of bags.
Bag of bags.
I actually thought about putting you with chip duty.
Yeah.
Because on the chip show, I specifically did like a potluck thing as well. And you brought chips.
No, so as it is the holiday season, and we have, if you haven't checked out our Spotify playlist, we have a whole Christmas playlist you can listen to. We've talked about Christmas movies, and we decided we were going to talk about Christmas treats today.
But when you say Christmas treats,
It's a broad category.
Okay, thank you very much. It's very non-specific because it's not like brands of things.
No.
It's more nostalgic-based treats.
These are snacks and treats and beverages that make you think Christmas.
Yeah.
And so we've compiled a list of 24 of these items.
Wait, hold on, 24.
Like, 12 days of Christmas time too.
Or an advent calendar.
Or an advent calendar.
Yay.
That's right. It's our advent calendar of treats.
Wait, so it's like every day we'll be opening something and giving them what? A tier 1, 2, or 3?
Yeah. Just like when you have a real advent calendar.
Well, everything's
Some
tier
of it.
3 in a real
Yeah,
advent
it's true.
calendar.
Well, not the Lego ones.
Oh, there's Lego
There's
ones?
Lego ones, and every day you get a piece of the scene.
$900.
Yes.
I bet.
So we're going to have 8 tier 1s being the highest, We have 8 tier 2s and then 8 tier 3s, which are the lowest. And this is our last show before our season finale next week, too. So we want to get at least one holiday themed show in.
We celebrate Halloween for 6 weeks and Christmas for 1.
No. We love Christmas so much, we take time off for it.
Oh, yeah, that's it.
Oh, we did twice as many James Bond shows as Christmas shows. Got it. Yeah.
Sacred.
Yes, but our finale's next week, and we're going to be going off the air. We'll be back in January, though. Don't worry.
Yes,
we're
we
gonna
will.
take a couple weeks off to
Probably
recap from all these treats that we've eaten.
Before we begin with our official list, I'm going to throw out a surprise Zack Tack honorable mention to 2 very special treats in my life
Go on.
that are not on this list because they signal the start of the season. There are 2 commercials, gentlemen, that I have to see every year. And I saw it, luckily, when I was watching the Thanksgiving Day Parade, and that is the M&M. When the M&Ms are walking in.
Yeah.
And they say,
He's real.
he does exist. They do exist.
And they pass out.
It's been on so long that it's like
Do
in
they
the
still
4x3
show that
ratio.
commercial?
Yeah. I saw it again this year. The other one,
Hershey Kisses?
The Hershey Kisses bells.
The Hershey Kisses bells. You know, they tried to change that recently. People freaked out.
Shout out to those 2 really generic candies that go anywhere. But
Yes.
I love those commercials, and I just want to.
When they come in the little candy canes,
Well,
and they're
because
adorable.
There are certain things that kind of hit that nostalgia button and get you in the holiday spirit. Yes. I think for some people it's music. Some people listen to Mariah Carey right as soon as October's over. Some people it's those commercials, and some people it's these candies. You eat them and you're like, Christmas.
It's time.
Speaking of, let's get our list started with candy canes, specifically the peppermint ones.
The classic candy canes. The beautiful symmetry of a candy cane.
Legend has it, gentlemen, that back in 1690 in Cologne, Germany, there was a choir master at a cathedral who said that kids were causing too much noise in his cathedral. And so he decided he was going to get, he asked a local candy maker to make a bunch of sugar sticks for them. But then he was like, but parents aren't going to be happy if I give them these sugar sticks, give them a bunch of candy. So what I'll do is I'll add a crook to the top of each stick and make it a cane, which will remind them of shepherds, which reminds them of the Lord.
It's also in its religious candy.
And what was his name?
Yes. His name?
Oh, it was Michael, isn't it?
Michael Caine.
Michael Caine.
December 26th is actually Candy Cane Day. So Boxing Day is actually Candy Cane Day.
Because you make the candy cane sharp and stab the box.
Yeah,
Wait,
that's
what
it.
day is Candy Cane Day?
December 26th.
Oh, the day after Christmas?
I don't know why.
Maybe because you're taking down the tree.
Possibly. And then you're like,
'cause you hang
maybe
them on
I
the
feel
tree.
like a candy cane now.
Do you guys hate candy canes on your tree?
Yes.
No.
Real
Why
ones?
wouldn't you?
I will walk by and eat them, and it's my impulse eating problem. That
Okay.
I don't want.
Here's what I want to know. How do you guys eat candy canes?
Okay. So you open it up from the long
And are they
end
the
first.
tiny baby ones or are they normal size
normal
ones?
size ones.
Okay.
You open them up from the bottom, and then you use the hook part as like a handle
Yep.
to sharpen it, and then you
Like a shiv.
Ice.
and
It's
you
an ice pick.
Those things get so sharp.
I'm from a rough part of Utah.
The west side, I
I'm
know.
from the west side. Yeah, so I make it into a weapon of the holidays.
Yes.
Yeah. And that is like a weapon that will disappear as well.
Yep.
It will
There are
eventually melt.
statistics-
Untraceable but delicious.
There are statistics regarding this, gentlemen. I just want you to know that.
Go on.
The National Confectioners Association found that 72% of people think that starting on the straight end is the proper way to eat a candy cane, while 28% start at the curved end, and they are psychopaths.
You can, like, if you do the curved end first, I feel like you just got to bite the whole curved end off.
Yeah, always you have like this
Hold on
stick
to it.
pointing
Well, it's
out.
usually broken off anyways, let's be honest.
Well, actually, back in the day when they first started making these candy canes, they had to be bent manually.
Yeah.
And there was like, I said, breakage was at 20%. Like they couldn't get it. Then they finally got machinery involved, and like in the 1920s.
Have you seen them being made? The twist that
I've
happens.
made
It's
candy
awesome.
canes.
You have?
gentlemen.
What?
Yes. Back in the day, my parents knew some people up the street, older people, and we went there and we boiled the sugar and we added the color in.
So cool.
We put the stuff together and then we put it on a hook on the wall and like pull it like taffy, and then you roll it up and then
Hold
curve it.
on. You're not Jake. Why are
What?
you making your own candy? What's going
Maybe
on
these
here?
people were Amish. I don't know.
All right.
But I remember you had to get your hands covered in butter when you were
Yeah.
doing it, and it was so much fun. And I got to do it a couple Christmases in a row.
Yeah.
Not enough that like, I'm not an expert, but it was so much fun to do.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you have any more fun facts, but I can give my tier now.
Go for it.
This is fun, festive, and delicious, and a tier 1 for me. I love these things.
One more fun fact I want to give.
Go for it.
Is that originally they were just white, white sticks, white sugar. And then they finally got the striping in. And the striping, even though sometimes they do add different flavors in there, but mostly it's just for decoration.
Sure.
But there's something about it that is magical, and something about it is Christmassy. However,
No.
However, candy canes.
I'm howevering mint candy canes, peppermint candy canes, because this is kind of a standard, gonna be there, reliable, better options out there, but tastes like Christmas. So it's going to land right in the middle for me, a tier 2.
Okay.
How dare you? How
What'd
dare
you
you
give it?
I give it a tier 1. It's beautiful. They're minty, which I love, and they're decorations.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
It's decorative food.
we should clarify we have other candy canes in another separate
That's
category.
true. Also, I did kind of include a pun for the gift because I would give these to neighbors. So for every treat that I have, I wrote a pun when I gift it
Like a
to
little
neighbors.
note that you put on the note for
So
it?
the note for the candy
Like
canes that I give to neighbors.
I can't wait for you to move.
So it's to a neighbor that's still in mint condition.
What if they're not, though?
Well, I wouldn't give it to him. I'd give him something
What
else.
if they're like on an iron lung or something?
Oh, no, that's really sad.
Yeah.
You're meant to die.
The truth is, and I will completely agree with you, gentlemen, that this is a taste of Christmas.
Yes.
But I like it with other stuff. Like if it's crumbled on something or mixed in something. Just the candy cane by itself, I like the Little Mints maybe better.
Yeah, that's the thing.
circulates.
It's the taste of Christmas, unless it's in like the small Starlight Mint form, and then it's just the taste of being done with your Mexican food. Which, you know, shout out to the cinnamon ones as well.
Ooh, at Cafe Rio.
Yeah,
Yeah, those
and same thing. I've had
Not a sponsor.
cinnamon candy canes. Those are very good as well.
Yeah.
Not in this category, but shame on you, Joel.
So
I'm
sorry. I'm sorry.
What's up for day 2 since
Well,
we spent
I
an hour
only
on
have
candy canes?
8.
Yes.
We're just going to not have to rehash the candy cane argument. Let's just go with day 2 of the Advent calendar brings us candy canes, but the fruity kind.
Okay, and this is where I put my tier 1. I'll
What?
give it here.
Why?
How old are you?
No, the thing is, a blueberry candy cane is like
Is it blueberry or blue raspberry?
either one? It's
Okay,
raspberry.
it's blue,
blue.
right?
I am happy.
Is it because it makes your tongue blue?
It makes your mouth blue and your
Yeah.
lips blue and your
like-
tongue's blue.
It's the stripes of dark blue and a lighter blue, right?
Yes, but this is Christmas morning for me. Not in the sense of like I actually get these on Christmas morning, but that's the feeling I get when I see a fruity candy cane because you have like the sour tart version and the Starburst version,
Right.
and the Jelly Belly version, like all these different flavors, and I absolutely love them. And so sometimes I'll get a peppermint candy cane. I'm like, oh, strawberry, and I'm like, oh, it's just peppermint. But I will always be happy with the fruity candy cane.
Always. So you eat more of these than the minty ones throughout
I prefer
the holiday season.
Yeah, the minty ones are like the good standard that are there to kind of
Okay.
They're the palate cleanser.
But do you? Yeah, that's true.
After I eat the fruity ones,
do
I'm
you
like,
decorate your tree with the fruity ones?
usually.
Because I feel like that's kind of a white trash Christmas tree.
What?
To put like the orange ones up and the cherry and the blue.
Wait, whoa.
I go for traditional.
Back it up.
Yes.
Is your Christmas tree like one color or two colors, very themed?
Maybe.
See, that's not my house.
But it's got the classic.
we go with the
minty-
crazy colors. We got the kids and all their
Okay.
homemade ornaments.
By the way, the pun when I deliver this present is,
Oh no,
"Can you hear what I hear?"
no.
Kent, do you have a pun for every single one?
I do.
does.
Tier 2, by the way, right in the middle.
National Confectioners Association, by the way, says that these are the #1 non-chocolate candy sold during the month of December, with 90% of the red and white particular ones sold between Thanksgiving and
For
Christmas,
candy canes itself,
which
yeah.
leads me to believe who's buying candy canes outside of
Yeah, the
those times?
10%.
The 10%ers out there.
Zach, what do you give it?
1.76 billion candy canes are produced in the United States annually.
The National Zack Fectioners
Really?
group.
Zack Fectioners.
Yes,
You
it's-
associated?
It's true. It's true. We have coats that match. Thinks these are terrible and
What?
very tier 3, and I would never touch them, and I hate them.
But you give it a 2?
Yeah, Tier 2.
You give it a 3?
I would grab a box and throw it off the roof.
Can't they have sour versions?
I know. I like them, but I can only have like 1 or 2 per season.
Per
I can eat-
season?
I can eat the peppermint
Wait,
ones
did you
all
say
the time.
per season or per second? Because
Because they disappear
these
immediately.
boxes just go. My wife knows. She'll bring it up like it's now and later flavor. I'm like, yes, thank you, honey.
Once again,
Not your
go back
honey,
to
my
Zach's
honey.
question.
Yeah.
How old are you?
How old are you?
Older than Zach. Oldest
These-
one here.
these are- no,
Shut up, kids.
They are great. You buy them for kids, so then like they can have a candy cane and you can have a candy cane. Yours is more delicious.
and you're
because
the
you
old
have-
fogies being like, mine tastes like Tom.
Listen, you like white chocolate. Why don't you
Yes.
recommend
I love white chocolate.
Shame on you.
We'll get
Okay.
there.
Well, moving on to day 3 of our advent calendar. Speaking of boxes, you never know what you're going to get with your box of chocolates.
They've been around for a long time, and they actually call these a selection box.
Yes, yeah.
Is what they called them back in the day. Box chocolates were being manufactured by Cadbury back in 1868, and they used to be that you would actually pick out which ones you wanted in your box, and it cost them back in the day. A selection box would
Very
exceed
convenient.
a week's wages.
Yeah.
People
Well, for
were
example, if
dropping
you go to
cash.
like C's chocolates or C's
That's a
candies,
week's wages right
Yeah,
there.
it's a week's wages, right? And you pick what you like because this is truly the mixed bag of the treats.
This
Because
is the roulette wheel.
Yeah,
This is the minefield of food.
yes, It's Bertie Bott's.
Yeah.
Like, you're going to get the caramels. You're going to get the truffles. But then you get the cherry ones in
Gentlemen,
there.
Cherry cordials.
I'm here to help you. I found a key.
Oh,
a universal
the key comes with the box. We know.
No, a universal key.
Okay.
If you cannot find it, there's no place on the box, because they do that sometimes.
Yeah.
Some jerk chocolate stores don't give you a key.
Or they just put in like the nutritional facts, but no pictures to go with it.
But I'm here to help.
Yeah.
Okay.
Baconsale is here to help you, listener.
Thank you.
Square or rectangular chocolates are almost always toffee or caramel filled. In other words,
I'm in.
Safe.
Okay.
Rounded chocolates are usually filled with a ganache or cream, which can be hit or miss.
Yes, I agree.
There's
Some
danger
taste
there.
like disgusting and some are really good.
Yeah.
If the surface isn't smooth, more likely than not, it's a nut candy.
Oh, the one that clearly looks like chocolate covering a nut
Yes.
is. Oh, okay.
I'm here to help.
Wow.
And if it's covered in foil, it usually has a liquid center, like a cherry cordial. The foil protects against leaks.
Poison. Straight up poison.
There you go. So
Thank you for
that's
that.
A brief guide. Squares are safe is all you really need to know about that.
Hey, Zach, I brought you a box of chocolates. I'd rather be early than choco late in wishing you and yours the best.
My goodness. You would really write that to a neighbor that you want to make
I
eye
wrote it
contact
for
with
the
later?
show, and I might use it later.
In the 60s and 70s, they actually took a commercialized approach with these and would just do these boxes of chocolates.
Yeah.
But they would put games in the box. So on the reverse side. So snakes and ladders, for example.
Oh, wow.
And then so kids would get these and expect them and enjoy them on Christmas morning.
See, the problem is, like, we get these like for work, for gifts or whatever, and the good ones are always gone.
They're
and you're
always
like,
gone.
Oh, I get the ganache.
Sometimes ganache is good.
Sometimes.
Sometimes ganache is ganud.
I give this a tier 2 because there are half good and half bad.
This is a game and it's a treat because it's a minefield. This is Minesweeper.
Minesweeper is the worst game. No one's ever played by the rules. They're guessing.
But it's a tier 2 because if I
Okay.
can find one of those mint chocolate or what is your go-to? What do you want to get when you get
Caramel.
this? Oh, caramel's great.
salted caramel, probably.
Almonds.
Yeah.
Like a chocolate covered almond.
Also good.
Yeah.
And a strawberry. If I get a strawberry cream one, that is mwah. But then there's always just the terrible ones in there too.
Yep.
So,
Yeah, there are foul ones.
Yeah.
I like the rum ones. Those are pretty good.
I've never been a fan of like
You can
butter
have
rum or
those.
rum candy.
Butter
No.
rum.
No,
Yeah.
thank
Yeah.
you. Blech. You can have those ones.
Please don't make that sound again.
Coconut. I will take all the coconuts. Do you guys like coconut?
Yeah.
No, heavens no.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's a texture thing.
I'll trade you then.
Okay, deal.
You can have my pineapple ones.
These remind me of working at a corporate job and them saying, "Sorry, your job sucks. Here, have a box of C's candies."
Yes.
Tier 3.
Tier 3.
Tier 3. I don't. They're
Even
too
though
much,
there are good chocolates.
they're
in
too
there.
much trouble.
Yeah.
You just said yourself you love chocolate covered almond
He
ones.
hates choices.
I do. I could just go and get the Hershey's Nuggets, and they're better.
Oh,
are good.
Hershey's nothing is better.
That's not Christmas,
Take it
though.
easy.
Yeah, oh, they are for me.
And box
In
of
my
chocolates, I did rank a little bit on Christmassy, and this did get kind of like, it's more, it's Valentine's Day too.
Right.
This isn't exclusively Christmas.
Oh,
but-
so
But
I
it's
just,
a really easy Christmas gift that people
totally,
give.
yeah.
I am, I'm activated by this because for years I worked for a big corporation
Yeah.
that was like, hey, Christmas bonus is a box of chocolates.
Oh man, Brandon Mole, his wife, I think she worked for a chocolatier factory for a long time, but her talent at one of our parties we had, she was doing we all had to do a talent for talent show, and it was identifying chocolates, like with no labeling, with no key, just pulling, like they give her one at random from the box, she'd look at it and be like, this is a blank, and I was like, I need to have you around.
It's her skill.
because it's amazing.
It's their superpower.
I could avoid so many missteps.
Welcome to day 4 of our advent calendar.
Open the little door. What do we have, Zach?
Open the door, and we see ginger snaps.
Why are
Also involved in that gingerbread.
Yeah, we kind of lumped the ginger ones together. Most of
just
the poor
nobody-
gingers.
Nobody really eats the gingerbread.
Well, they make the houses out of it, which some people make it out of graham crackers too.
That's just wrong.
But
Graham crackers are too brittle, I would say. Ginger lasts forever.
Yeah, but like if you're eating it, you're eating a ginger.
Do you know what I
snap.
love about gingerbread houses? Is you take all the stuff that you would never normally enjoy and you put it together, and it's fun, right? You get together
It's
with your
fun.
kids or nieces,
Yes.
nephews,
Yeah.
or whatever, and it's fun, and you're like, this is all gross. I'm not even tempted to eat it
No.
along the
Well,
way.
tell that to the 3-year-old
Well, the frosting.
in my house that won't stop eating it.
the mini M&Ms.
The gross icing.
Yeah.
And those little what are they? They're like little mint chocolate chips that you put on the top. With
Okay,
with
all right, you're going
Or
fancy now.
Or like the empty shell of a chiclet. Those are.
If I was to deliver this gift, I would say, we clove being your neighbor. Because it's cloves and ginger.
Clove. Yeah. Gingerbread, by the way, is typically flavored with ginger, cloves, speaking of which, nutmeg, and cinnamon, and sweetened with sugar, honey, or molasses. And then you get ginger snaps, which are cinnamon, molasses, and clove. Ginger snaps are actually closer to actually what we consider to be a gingerbread house. Because gingerbread is more cakey.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And ginger snaps, actually ginger nuts is what they call them in like New Zealand and probably Australia and England and all that.
They hate redheads.
But it's like these little biscuits, these little crispy biscuits, whereas ginger snaps are like more of a cookie, more of a, what do they call it? Round drop cookies. Ginger is generally a hit and miss for me.
Really?
If it's too strong, like I love ginger ale.
Based on your pumpkin spice show, I'm so surprised.
I love ginger ale with a passion, but if the ginger gets too strong, and this is also one of those old-fashioned treats. Like this was gingerbread was a popular treat at medieval European festivals, and it came to America with European settlers. 1700s, 1800s. Right. This was like, oh wow, this is really amazing. But
like, because we all know, like Europe doesn't really have any taste buds.
Yes.
Everything. So it's a tier 3 in translation.
That's what Ken said. Yes.
Yeah.
And I'm giving this a tier 3.
Yeah. Zach?
I feel bad though because I don't hate these, but it just compared to other stuff, this got bumped down to a tier 3.
Tier 2. I like them.
Really?
Ginger snap cookies are great. They're addicting for me.
Okay.
Like, if someone brings,
what do you do? Dip them in milk?
No, just as is.
They're a little dry.
Yeah.
Okay.
That just means there's a limit. I can't eat them forever. Mm-hmm. So I like food that has a self-imposed limit.
We haven't agreed yet on our advent calendar.
No, we have not. But for day 5, we have hot chocolate. It's not just a snacky snacks. It's also a little drinky drink.
Now, we did talk a lot about hot chocolate already on our bacon bit, a toast to breakfast drinks.
It was seen as a health drink from the 16th to the 19th century.
And it was created by the Mayans, they believe, around 2,500 to 3,000 years ago.
Yes.
And they called it... I'm going to try it again.
Here we go. How'd Zach read it?
Want me to do it in a German accent?
Chocolatl.
Yeah, which is Zach saying any German word.
Yeah.
Just sounds like
Hey, Joel,
Swedish chef.
I'm going to gift you a little mug and some hot cocoa. It's Steven's hot cocoa.
Oh, what flavor?
Oh, it's mint.
The mint.
Obviously.
Thank you.
Obviously.
Oh, it's orange cream because I don't want orange cream anymore.
No.
And it says, you've been mugged.
Why would you give your neighbor something that says you've been mugged?
Because it's adorable.
He wants to know who's...
Are you going to punch them in the face and steal their wallet when you give it to them?
A mug of
It's
cocoa.
an intimidation move.
Yeah.
He wants them to know who's
And
boss.
it's orange cream in there too. So yeah, because I hate you.
The raspberry chocolate ones are good. The mint chocolate ones are good.
I love hot chocolate.
Hot chocolate is amazing because, like, I don't drink it a ton, right? But whenever it's cold, like, for example, let's go back to the memories of sledding when you're a kid.
Are we going back to the winter show?
Oh, sure.
Remember we did that?
I mean, let's go back to the winter show. Why not? But yeah, you're sledding, you come inside, and you're like, oh my goodness, what sounds better than even Swiss Miss hot chocolate with little marshmallows?
Okay, I want to try a little experiment here, listener,
Okay.
and Kent and Zach. Everyone, please close your eyes. I mean, just close your eyes. Okay, thank you.
You didn't say for how long.
No, just as I want.
Don't blink,
We're
Zach.
building a picture online. Say, okay, so you are sitting on a couch in a nice warm log cabin. There's a big bay window out front.
You're still describing the bacon cave.
The room is only lit by a Christmas tree in the corner.
They hung
With
himself on
fruity
ice.
candy
But
canes.
The icicle was...
Guys!
They stabbed him with an icicle.
Relax. The Christmas tree in the corner. You look outside and snow is falling down, but you are warm inside with a blanket wrapped around you on a comfortable couch with someone you love, and you're sitting there.
Someone I love?
Baby Yoda.
And you're sitting there with a mug of hot chocolate in your hands. That is a winter.
Am I drinking it with my
You
eyes
are right.
closed?
You are 100% right.
You can.
Yeah.
But that's my dream is
Right.
sipping hot
That is
cocoa,
it.
watching it snow outside. And it's great.
Yeah.
That is Christmas.
Oh,
to
listener,
me.
open your eyes. If you're
yes.
driving...
Oh, don't close your eyes. Don't. Open your eyes. I should have put a disclaimer before. Oh, no.
Shame on you.
Their blood is on my hands.
Joel's fault.
Tier 1.
Yeah, tier 1 all the way.
We agree. It's a tier 1. So shout out to my mom, who growing up had the greatest idea. She got one of those little Lazy Susan like spice rack things.
Yeah.
And then had mason jars full of like all sorts of different things you could put into your hot cocoa. And then she had like a scooper of it. And so we had a hot cocoa bar all season long.
Yeah.
And so you'd put in Andy's mints or honestly Reese's peanut butter cups.
Yep.
Or peppermint or whatever.
Serious question.
Yeah.
Hot water or hot milk?
Half and half.
Hot water, then cool it down because it's too hot with a little straight heavy cream.
Okay.
That sounds good. See, I do a half and half because it stretches it out. But
Yeah,
still
I
keeps
get
it
it.
creamy.
Yeah.
Yeah, and half and half also.
Not just straight water, though. Straight water
not
seems
half and
wrong.
half the drink. I mean, half water, half milk.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
All
No,
right.
I would do half and half. That's the
I would
drink
too.
now at that point.
My wife also, we do the syrups like Italian sodas, and so we have like the hazelnut and coconut and
Honestly, gas
Strawberry.
station hot chocolate ain't too bad.
No.
7-Eleven and
best.
Maverick actually have quite good hot
the
chocolate.
best hot chocolate I've ever had in my life. And I don't know if it was just a situation enough, but it was a gas station in Midway, Utah,
Weird, though.
where we were on our anniversary and went.
Because you
stopped
get a
at this
little
gas
Irish
station.
cream in there or something.
It was, but I put a bunch of creamers or
Yeah.
pumps of syrup, and it was just fantastic and
Weird.
I don't know if I can recreate that again.
No.
it was magic.
That was a fun day 5, but they can't all be winners. Day 6 brings us fruitcake.
I'd like to go back to day 4, please. So, fruitcake, if you don't know, it's a cake made with candied or dried fruits, nuts, and spices, and optionally soaked in spirits from Halloween.
Nope.
Yeah, I was reading the Wikipedia article on this, the source of all knowledge and truth, and they talked about how each country celebrates with fruitcake, and it's like different variations for every country. And then you get to the part where it's like the United States hates fruitcake. Like every country reveres it, and then it's like, oh, it's ridiculed here.
Oh, yeah, they make fun of it. And they blame it on Johnny Carson. They
Yes.
say Johnny Carson, the one that he said there was only one fruitcake in the world, and everyone keeps passing it around.
Right. Fantastic.
But the different world things, the Portuguese ones, you read about that? Mm-hmm. So in Portugal, you have a fruitcake, a bolore, king cake, and it's disgusting because it's fruitcake.
Sure.
I'm giving it a tier 3.
Yeah, it's a tier 3.
But
It's a tier 3.
they have a thing where there's a bean in the cake.
Yeah.
And if you're the one that finds the bean, you are then punished or win to pay for the fruitcake the next year.
Yeah.
Wow.
So that's what they do.
But you're just punished to eat the fruitcake anyways.
Yeah, this fruitcake is absolutely horrible. Like the way it tastes, it really is one of those tastes I cannot abide.
I think that's why a lot of countries soak it in rum, basically,
Everyone.
because they need to be drunk to enjoy it.
yeah, they soak it in liquor, and that makes it good.
So when I gift this, I would
was
say,
gonna say.
from your favorite neighborhood fruitcake. It was pretty easy on
That's
that
why.
one.
That's why Dunn's so weird. Got it.
So they know you as the neighborhood fruitcake who mugs people. Is that what I'm doing? This?
If the same person doesn't get the same gift.
That
Sometimes
guy's
they do,
nuts.
especially if you've been eating
But
fruitcake.
it's a problem, though, because fruit is good, nuts are good, cake is good. Why isn't fruitcake good?
I don't know. They don't belong together.
No.
I mean, the earliest recipe from ancient Rome has pomegranate seeds, pine nuts, raisins mixed into a barley mash. That's the same recipe they use today.
We have spent way too much time on this terrible food. Day 7 is upon us. We open up the door and we see little spice drops in there.
So you say Spice Drops or Spice Girls?
Call them what you want.
Spice drops have the robust flavors of anise, ginger, cloves, and allspice, which I think is in a Transformers movie.
Well, and that's
The allspice.
Really, from what I found, that's basically the difference between gumdrops and spice drops.
Yeah.
Gumdrops are kind of fruity flavors. You get a
Which is
cherry in there,
sugar,
a strawberry.
basically, yeah.
But they're little gelatin things covered in sugar. And then the spice drops are the ones that they're like, this is before we had candy. We had spice drops.
These remind me of the grandma I never had. Like, these are grandma candies, but I don't think either of my grandmas ever made me eat this.
No.
These feel like they're a decoration. And
For
then
a gingerbread house that
yeah,
you'll never
for
eat.
decoration. Yeah, for gingerbread houses. And it's one of those things where if you bite into it, you're like, oh, this isn't food. Oops, I wasn't supposed to eat this. This is just decoration.
Yeah. And gumdrops, by the way, first appeared around 1801. So they were doing this.
But guys, a little sugar and spice for those who are nice. Because it's sugary and
That's
spicy.
the card you're giving?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
None of these are good, Joel. Lower your expectations.
Guys, this is a tier 1 decoration and a tier 3 treat.
Absolutely tier 3.
I had you going for a second there.
These are horrible. I was confused.
I never trusted you.
Tier 3 all the way. Spice drops can burn.
It's been a rough.
Well, they do burn going down.
Yeah, it's been a rough couple days. Sorry about these last two doors of the Advent calendar. You're probably regretting your purchase by now, but then there's a glimmer of hope on day 8 when you get chocolate pretzel rods.
Are we getting your
it's a
take
large-
on these before we even tier
It's a large door. It's a
Yes,
very
that is.
large door.
So, I mean, they've had pretzels in history, but hard pretzels originated in the United States in 1850 in a bakery in Pennsylvania. And this is like, because there's this big soft pretzels. We're talking the little hard sticks dipped in chocolate.
Well, sometimes they're not little. Sometimes they're quite big.
Sometimes they're bigger, yes.
And
Sometimes
Joel-
they're massive and tooth breaking.
Joel, just like you, these pretzels aren't naughty because they don't have knots in them. It's a straight pretzel, Joel. And naughty or nice.
Hold on, I'm getting a call. It's Santa. You're on the naughty list.
Like a pretzel?
No.
See, you get it.
These are, and this is funny because sometimes they are like elaborately dipped, like
Generally
they've got, like,
elaborately
the
dipped.
drizzle on
Yeah.
them, and like there's caramel and chocolate involved. And sometimes it's those little tiny mini pretzels just dipped in like the cheapest chocolate available and put
Like
on
little
the potato.
Pocky sticks.
And you know what? Even those are pretty good.
Oh, they're all pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I'm still giving this a tier 2
Why?
because
How?
because
salty and sweet, it's perfection.
it is the inconsistency of these rods that sometimes they are wow and sometimes they are meh.
No, if someone sent me these, I'd actually feel guilty about what I sent them before with like a tissue box or something like
You
that.
mean like
I'd
the
be
note you've been giving them?
Yeah. I give a box of tissues to be like Sneezen's greetings or something.
No. Why are you just writing all these down?
Hold on. We issue a Merry Christmas. We tissue a Merry Christmas.
Joke lost.
But no, these are lovely. Lovely. Super tier 1.
I would have put them in tier 1, but they could not compete with some of the other ones I have up there.
High tier 1.
Absolutely.
Love
Sorry, guys.
So
I killed
good.
the curve on that one.
You did. It's fine. Hey, what's that over there in day 9? Is that a bunch of grandma's sewing needles? Oh, nope. It's a blue tin of butter cookies.
And that's one of the most disappointing things.
Yeah.
That's like biting into a chocolate chip cookie to see that it's raisins. Is being like, oh,
But do kids
Butter
these
cookies.
days know? Do kids these days know what it's like to have a grandma that had the blue tin
No.
with cookies in the little white paper wrappers?
yeah, like the weird cupcake wrappers.
And so- yeah,
That
some
you
of
have to
them
eat
look
all
like-
4 cookies.
Some of
to-
them looked like pretzels, some of them were squares, some of them were ovals, and they all tasted exactly the same.
Why do they make them do? It's like chicken nuggets have 4 shapes. Those are these cookies.
The only
Yeah.
one that's a little different because of the texture is the ones that have the huge sugar crystals on
Yes.
top.
Yes. And like we said, sometimes you see the tin and you're like, oh yeah, I'm getting a cookie.
Yeah.
And then you open it up and it's like buttons.
Yes.
Because they're using these tins, these blue. They're actually called Royal Dansk is the brand name of these. And you'd open up and it'd be some sort of storage thing.
It's just so nostalgic. The sight is so nostalgic.
Yeah.
They're not delicious, but still, they're Christmas. But Zach, you better watch out. You better not cry.
Wow.
I'm having so much fun with these. I hate them so much, but I love it.
Butter cookies are exactly what they say: butter, flour, and sugar. And they basically have no flavoring, but some people will add in coconut or vanilla or the big sugar crystals on top.
Yeah, I've had them with almond, almost like a Spitz cookie.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And these are a popular gift in China, apparently, during Chinese New Year. So,
Really?
Go figure. I had no idea.
I'm going to jump in on this one. I think they're tier 1 just for the memory and the sight of these cookies.
I will say
Because I
tier-
can eat a handy 4 cookies at a time.
Yeah, and I will say tier 2.
Okay.
Because I'm like, oh, those cookies, and I'll eat them. I'm like, oh, these are really dry and kind of flavorless, but hey, I still like them.
There's sugar crystals that hurt my teeth.
Yeah. Is that rock salt? Nope, it's sugar.
And they are tier 1 for me. I actually like them. They're one of those. They're one of those that I
Hey,
can
Joel,
eat.
you're ruining us here.
I'm sorry.
Similar to the ginger snaps, like I can just eat a lot of them, kind of like passing by, and I do.
I do feel like people don't get these anymore, though. I don't see them as much. My grandparents have Best On. That's probably why. But
Yeah. They're box of buttons.
yeah.
We open the door for day 10, and we see everyone's mother having the greatest recipe of this. It's fudge.
Fudge is one of those weird things that I don't eat it unless I'm on vacation or it's Christmas. So it's a special treat.
Right.
Fudge is apparently it became popular because sugar got less expensive and you could make it at home. This was not some sort of fancy schmancy dessert.
Right.
It's sugar, butter, and milk, and then you heat it to the softball stage and then whip it up when it's cooling. And it's delicious.
It's just so inconsistent, though, because when you're gifted
it's
these
delicious.
with for example, a note that says you can't hold a grudge when you get some free fudge. It's not a pun. I just had to throw it in there because I
That's
didn't
not
want
your pun?
I didn't want to use a fudge pun in any other context.
probably for the best.
But it could be so grainy, like it's so flaky, right?
If not done right.
If not done right, which is half the time I've even tried these.
Oh, man. But
Like good fudge is great.
oh, it's so good.
But it's not. It's kind of like a box of chocolates. You're like, I hope it's good this time.
No, even bad fudge
No,
is still good.
totally disagree.
Good treat.
Because it's almost too much cocoa in some of the fudge. and
Yeah,
you're like,
some it just tastes like cocoa.
Are
Yes,
you kidding me?
Not at all.
I'm giving this a tier 1. You guys aren't going. Your guys are both going to give it a tier 2.
tier 2.
I was going to give it a tier 3
You still can.
because personally, it makes me sick.
What?
Wow.
For some
Lactose?
reason, chocolate, acid refluxy stuff.
Oh.
So, I can't eat it. My mom at Thanksgiving made the most delicious peanut butter cup fudge. It was amazing, and my body hated it. But it's a tier 2. Just
You still ate it, but your body
I did,
hated it.
and I loved it.
Yeah.
Because fudge, with the consistency, when it's right, it's really good.
Well, but here's the thing. This isn't even holiday related, I guess, but they have huckleberry fudge in West Yellowstone and around the Yellowstone Island Park area, and it is so good.
Hey, thanks for bringing us some.
I think about that all the time, about how good they have all sorts of.
Okay,
that's the one thing I love about fudge. It's like ice cream. You can get so many different flavors, and that huckleberry stuff, man, I love it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to try it.
Now we open the door on day 11. Is it Christmas or are we at a sports event? I can't tell. Anyway, we're going to do candied almonds.
So candied almonds, if you don't know what that is, because there was some confusion as we were talking about this, but you probably know it if you saw it. These candied almonds are usually, they're nuts, like cashews or peanuts, but they're usually almonds that have been cooked in a special way so they end up coated in browned, crunchy sugar. So you've seen them at like, Real games you've mentioned.
Yeah.
And this always reminds me of the mall at Christmas.
Yeah,
the smell of the
is
cinnamon
so
and the
good.
sugar. That's very good.
We'd be nuts to not wish you a Merry Christmas.
Wow. In Italy, these are traditionally called adornament sucore.
That sounds delicious.
That probably wasn't even close to right. In Spain, they are called garrapiñadas. In Switzerland and Germany, they are called Gebrantenmandarine.
You know Zach's supposed to do these, right?
I know, but
I'm having a
I was
great
going to send
time.
over there.
This is
And
fun.
then in Denmark, Norway, and Sweden, they are called Brente Mandler, and Branda Mandlar.
Those are three of the creatures from Krampusnacht.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah. This is a snack where I can eat a handful because it's almost too sweet compared to the salt.
You think so?
I think so. Especially if you get them like really breaded and stuff like that, which is good. I can eat a handful though. Because they're kind of breaded and sugar
coated.
They are though.
Yeah.
And I can eat a handful and that's about it.
No, I can plow through a whole bag and feel awful after, but I'll really enjoy
So
myself.
is it tier 1 for you?
Tier 1 for me.
I'm going tier 2.
Like I said, this reminds me of Christmas. And I love the taste.
Christmas and baseball.
Yes.
Yeah, that's the thing. I love these, but I don't associate them with Christmas at all.
Yeah.
But they are my go-to snack. It's an evil move. At Rio Tinto Stadium in Sandy, Utah, when you go to see a Real Salt Lake game, they have them right by the entrance.
Oh, yeah.
You can't avoid smelling them.
I'm pretty sure they pump out the air from these things just
I bet
in
they do.
entryways.
It's ridiculous. It's July, and it's super hot outside, and I need to have
Christmas in July.
a hot thing of candied almonds. It's crazy. I love these, but on this list, they did end up as a tier 2 for me.
I think Zach and I have agreed every time.
I think you guys have.
Oh my gosh. We have. Oh, darn. Okay. Well, we're going to open day 12. What's that? Is that a marshmallow? No, it's a buttermint.
Buttermints, traditionally found at weddings.
Yeah, basically.
No, these are soft mints, also known as dinner mints, but they are made with a higher butter content, which makes them softer and they more melt in your mouth.
Joel, sometimes you get Christmas gifts that are real disappointments. Because these are...
You mean like these puns?
These are dumb. Yes, and the puns are dumb as well. Guys, personal story. Back when I was a teenager and I was a little bit of an anarchist, I used to go to Ollie Dollar and they had bags, bags
little
of
bit
candy.
of an anarchist. You watched...
We don't need to go more into that.
And then you're like, I'm an anarchist!
I am not my corduroys. So I'd go to Ollie Dollar. They had bags of buttermints, and buttermints are, they turn to powder if you squeeze them.
Yeah.
So I'd go to every bag of buttermints and I'd squeeze the bag until I broke them. I don't know why I did that.
And Tyler Durden would be so proud.
You monster.
These invented by Thomas Richardson in 1893 in Philadelphia, and he sold them at the counter of a department store. And then him and his sons decided to incorporate and become like the mass producers of this candy.
They're packing peanuts with slightly more taste.
I love these.
They last like 9 seconds. The mintiness lasts for 9 seconds. But it's like juicy fruit.
It's the texture. It's that soft, melt in your mouth texture that every
How
time.
many can you eat in a sitting? 2? 2
or 3 dozen.
I want to be around you at Christmas more.
No, these are at a wedding. I'm eating my cup, and
This
the
is
person
your
next to me's
gluttonous
cup.
month, isn't it?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Well, let's face it, when is my gluttonous month?
Yeah, it's tier 3 for me.
What?
These are useless.
These are not useless.
They are useless.
I only gave them a tier 2 because
Hey, I've got a candy cane over here with real mint.
but it's
Or buttermints?
there's- No, there's the peppermint flavor. It has its place. This is the buttermint. It's a smoother, more creamy, minty flavor, and I love the sweet mint flavor. Like they have the sweet mint orbit gum, which is this flavor. It's delicious. But tier 2 because
Okay.
they are not the best, but I will definitely enjoy a buttermint if it's around.
I agreed with Kent and got a tier 3.
Yeah, of
So
course
you guys
did.
have agreed every single time.
Because we're
Yeah.
right.
All right. We open up door 13. Some would say it's
Lucky.
unlucky. Others would disagree with this choice. Get ready to slam something on the table. It's chocolate oranges.
let's do this.
You mean Terry's chocolate orange?
Because they are Terry's. The Terry's is the manufacturer of these. Terry's used to do these chocolate apples, apparently.
Would you like to try that?
Chocolate apple?
Yeah.
Sure.
I'd try it.
That sounds good.
But they replaced that with the orange.
Yes.
And then
in 1954, they replaced it with the orange.
In the 70s, they tried chocolate lemon. Didn't really sell.
Yeah.
I don't know.
At one time, it was estimated that the chocolate orange was found in 1/10 of British Christmas stockings. And these are kind of a game, too, because you have the orange, and then you have to slam it on something really hard so that it will then break apart, and then you can eat slice by slice.
Yeah.
20 segments divided by 20 segments.
Did you know that there's less chocolate now?
I've heard.
Since 2016, because of Brexit fears, they added more airspace between the slices of oranges.
Oh, but that means they break nicer.
And yet the price doubled.
Exactly.
They upped the price and gave you less.
By the way, if I were to give these as a gift, this is ridiculous. Are you ready for this?
Aren't you glad I didn't get you something else?
Felice Naval Dad, neighbor.
Oh my gosh. What? Why are you talking
navel
about
oranges?
Why are you talking about their dad's navel?
Felice Naval Dad.
Why are you talking about their dad's navel and being happy?
Is that the best one yet?
These are all bad. That's the worst one yet.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm giving this a tier 2 because they are fun to break. And they are fun to. They look like orange slices. The texture is super cool.
The design is super cool.
Yeah, like they're not delicious.
Yeah, Zach,
but they look cool.
Yes, we didn't match.
Okay,
I love these. They're tier 1 for the table slamming alone, and they're delicious. And I feel like they last a really long time because you can just eat 1 or 2 orange slices and be good for the
day. Because you don't really enjoy them. You're like,
no, they're delicious.
I got a sweet tooth sometime.
Love them tier 1. I always want them in the nose of my sock at Christmas.
Get a real orange.
Yeah.
Nope.
These are barely above fruitcake. These are horrible, disgusting trash. They do not deserve to exist. Chocolate and citrus do not belong together. Tier 3,
wow.
No doubt.
Zach's going to slam the table.
You monster. Who hurt you?
Chocolate and orange hurt me. No. Chocolate and orange do not go together. Those are not flavors that mix. That's like orange and toothpaste. Orange juice and toothpaste do not go together.
I'm slightly different, but yeah, I get what you're saying.
Like I said, I love the design. And I love break. Like if my kids get one, I will happily break it for them and peel it apart. I will not eat a single slice.
I will happily give you all of mine to crush, so you can have that experience.
Thank you.
And I will eat them.
That sounds good. Thank you, Jack Sprat.
Okay. All right, we open up day number 14, and yep, your grandma's been here again. We have hard candy.
Now, hard candy is one of those funny things where we all have different experiences of what hard candy means at Christmas. For some, it's the shards of, what do they call it? Sugar glass. Where it's just like pieces
They kind of look like rock candy, like smooth rock candy.
Yeah, it's like that powdered sugar and stuff like that, different flavors.
For some, I think like peppermint, spearmint, the gems.
Yes.
With like ribbon candy.
Ribbon
like
candy is another
candy.
one.
Yeah.
Which ribbon candy, you can't eat just one. Do you want to know why? Because they all stick together.
Because you can't eat it.
You pick up one and the whole thing comes out because they've all melded together.
This is a grandma candy because you go over there and there's 23 years of dust on this hard candy that's stuck together. In fact, if I were to give this as a gift, I'd say, we're thankful you're stuck with us as neighbors.
Now, this is hard candy, exactly. It says you boil sugar in water until it gets to hard crack stage. And then that's what makes it. You can put out whatever flavor you want, whatever extracts. But the ribbon candy is kind of cool because they will fold it in back on its forth like little lasagna pieces. I don't know how to explain it, but they look really cool. And the flavor sometimes is good.
Is it?
Like you said, sometimes it's good. Sometimes it's dusty.
I mean, they're just jawbreakers, basically.
But I really, my mother-in-law makes the sugar glass like in a bowl. It's just sitting there, and like I know that like the yellow ones are going to be eggnog, and that like the red ones are going to be cinnamon, and so I know which pieces to get, and which ones I like, and I absolutely love it. But it's hit and miss. And so, back in the day, by the way, they used to wrap the hard candy around the candy maker's thumb to get that kind of ribbon shape to it.
Ew!
I'm hoping he's wearing gloves. That would be hot
hate
candy.
That.
This
a little bit of cuticle in your hard candy.
This is a tier 2 for me because it's hard candy. How bad can it be?
It could be pretty offensive.
The flavors are fine. They're
no, it all gets stuck together. They all taste the same at some point. They taste like dust.
You're giving me tier 3?
Absolutely.
How can you give peppermint candy?
It's not real peppermint.
Canes.
It's a weird peppermint gem, and then it's the spearmint ones that are actually kind of gross.
Ooh, I like the spearmint ones.
You do? Oh, I
yeah.
don't. Mm-mm.
Yeah, spearmint's my favorite kind of mint, probably.
So like
save for the mint show.
Save for our minting show.
This is a weird one because I don't have the same experience you guys have. I have never had the gem candy before. The closest thing I've had is hard taffy, which you pull and everything. It's kind of.
Or you've had like a butterscotch.
Wait, you're talking about
Yeah.
like just taffy?
No, hard taffy.
What's hard taffy?
It is.
Hard taffy's been left out.
A lot like this. You you pull it and pull it and pull it, hot sugar until it, it's white and fluffy.
But sometimes it turns into a buttermint, but like a sugar mix.
Sometimes,
or a butter
sort of.
thing.
And it's in the same vein, but it's basically like, hey, this is vanilla flavored, also vinegar flavored, and is gross. This is terrible. Tier 3, day 15. We open up the door and realize somebody you don't know that well just gave you a present. And you need to get them something real quick and know nothing about them. It's Ferrero Rocher.
Ah, Ferrero Rocher.
I ordered you a Ferrari, but it was lost in translation.
Well, you're not even going for puns on there?
No, because it sounds like Ferrero.
So Ferrero Rocher, if you don't know, it's a chocolate and hazelnut ball. It's got a golden wrapper on it and a brown paper cup around it. Now, this originally was invented by a company, Ferrero, but then Rocher comes from French and means rock or boulder. So it's an Italian Ferrero, Rocher is French, and it's hazelnut and chocolate, a beautiful combination.
Around 3.6 billion of these are sold each year, and 60% of them are sold around Christmas. Mm-hmm. Did you guys hear about the controversy with this one?
Mm-mm. There's controversy.
I don't want to tell you. I don't want to tell you because it's tier 1, because I think these taste lovely. I love hazelnut and chocolate, right?
And they're in a wafer.
Yes.
Oh, it's so good.
But 4 years ago,
don't say it.
There's viral video.
Don't say it.
Of worms and maggots in Ferrero Rocher.
Oh, no.
And they thought it was hoax. And Ferrero Rocher said, yeah, no, actually, that's our fault. And they said it's not our fault, but because the packaging is kind of loose, that any sort of bugs, whether it's from manufacturing to shipment, bugs can get in there, worms can get in there.
So this is at home someone found this. It wasn't like in the factory.
Yes.
Because they are super secretive about the factory. No smartphones or notebooks are allowed inside the production facility.
There's a lot of bugs. Right.
They're very, very tight on how they make these, which is funny because they're basically wafers filled with chocolate.
Exactly.
So I don't know why it's so secretive. And they got the hazelnuts on
the
outside.
But it's a soft chocolate. There's something nice to it.
Oh, when you bite in it, it's just kind of like crunch and it opens up.
Yeah. And there may be some protein in there, like I said.
Maybe. Mm-hmm. Definite tier 1 from me.
It's a tier 1.
Absolutely love these.
This one did get bumped to tier 2 for me.
Gosh.
I like them. They're really fun. I like the different layers and yeah, it is a good experience, but they ended up as a tier 2 on my list.
They're so good though.
Yep. Right, day 16 is upon us, and it's candy that I think you may not have ever heard of. But let's talk about divinity.
Now, some people have heard of divinity, and some people swear by. I saw it on so many lists when we were looking at Christmas treats. But I kind of went, wait, what is this? And I could not remember, and I was asking you guys, I had to figure it out. Divinity is a nougat-like confection made with egg white, corn syrup, and sugar. You can also add dried fruit or chopped nuts to it, like pecans. A lot of people in the South put pecans in this.
So it's like a cookie, but like a whipped cream sort of cookie, like a meringue.
Yeah, I mean, picture it's nougat. If you know what nougat is inside a Snickers or like a big hunk, but softer.
Right.
They say that they got the name because someone ate it and declared it to be divine. But the story behind this is I was telling you guys, I know what it is now. I just don't know what it tastes like. So I actually whipped up my own. I found a recipe and just whipped up my own batch that night of just making it.
And
it actually was surprisingly. A lot can go wrong when you're trying to make this. Like the humidity has to be just right. The temperature has to be just right.
That's the case with most candies.
High altitudes affected as well.
Right.
All the recipes said it may not turn out. Mine turned out. It was fine. It was, but it was like eating sugar.
Right.
There was no real wow.
I can only eat one of these at a time.
They're very rich.
Yeah. But I like them.
But the texture is good.
Yeah.
The texture is what makes it kind of really cool. But I gave it a tier 3 only because it was kind of like, I didn't really remember it. It doesn't really remind me of Christmas. Mm-hmm. I've seen it, but...
For me, it's tier 2. It's not offensive, but I wouldn't really go out of my way to seek it out.
And this ended up as a tier 3 for me. I actually have had this for years. There was a guy who lived in my parents' neighborhood who just every year he made divinity and he gave it to everybody. It was like, the Christmas neighbor gift exchange thing.
Was it like... properly, or was it like smoothly made, or was it kind of just those big lumps that
it was smooth. He was very, very weirdly proud of his divinity.
Okay.
It's like the only thing he made, and much like his soft handshakes, they were very soft, and
that creeps me out.
Yeah, right? It's very strange. I don't know. I just have mediocre associations with it. I think it's a mediocre treat. I'd rather eat anything else. So tier 3 for me.
So if you meet Zack, give him a firm handshake.
Please do. Speaking of firm. Day 17, we might break your teeth, but we're giving you peanut brittle.
It's candy with nuts inside. It's like a
hard sugar caramel.
Yeah. Like a hard caramel with nuts in it.
Like when I have a sweet tooth around this season, maybe I had some ham over Christmas. I'm like, I need something just real quick. And then I'll go for just a piece of broken peanut brittle.
Yeah.
It's generally pretty good, even with peanuts, which are it's like a tier 3 nut.
Yeah, but sometimes the peanut brittle for some reason works. I generally prefer other nuts to peanuts in
Right, agreed.
foods, but they work great in this. The term brittle, used in the context of food, first appeared in print in 1892, although it'd been around a lot longer before that because it's sugar and nuts. Now, this has many, many variations around the world, such as pastelli in Greece, sohan in Iran, croquant in France, alegria or palanqueta in Mexico.
Okay, we get there.
Gozanaki in Georgia.
So nice to be on this side of the fence.
Gachak in Indian Punjab, Chiki in other parts of India, Kotkoti in Bangladesh. Oh no.
Yeah.
Hua Shang Tang in China, Tua Tat in Thailand, Keolak in Vietnam, and yeah.
We'd love to hear from any
there's so
native
many.
speakers who
Please don't.
Joel may have sworn for the first time on the episode on the show here.
Family
So
friendly.
yeah,
No, but
is it always made the same though, even though they have different names? and
generally speaking, it is kind of. I mean, in the Middle East, it's made with pistachios. Asian
Okay.
countries use sesame seeds, but it's that basic formula.
whatnot? Go with cashews every time.
That'd be good.
Every
Cashew
time.
brittle?
I have no problem with
Yeah.
cashew brittle.
Cashew peanut brittle?
And my dad loves this too. He gets it every year and enjoys it. And
Yeah.
I do too. But it is a tier 2 for me. 'Cause
Okay.
It's just not upper level of my favorite things.
It's tier 1.
I have no problem with that.
If I don't have like chocolate toffee around, I'm like, oh, peanut brittle, next best thing.
Toffee's superior.
It is, but it's
Yeah.
not on the list,
It should be.
but it's not. So peanut
Baconsale.
brittle is a lower tier 1 for me.
So you're still giving it tier 1?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to give it tier 2. I worry about this treat.
You worry about it?
Yeah, I just
Like
sometimes
about your
if
teeth?
It's, like if it's doing okay?
if it's a little.
Is it because you had braces for a long time?
Maybe it's stemming from the braces time.
PTSD or braces?
Yeah, because if peanut brittle's too thick, it's not an enjoyable experience.
Right.
No.
And if it's too thin, it just
Apparently,
kind of shatters.
It's supposed to be less than 1 centimeter thick. That's proper peanut
But
butter.
I've had it too thin, and then it's just like, hey, mouth glass, how are we doing?
Zack, you're bleeding again.
Peanuts.
My braces are peanut brittle. I'm not sure.
Oh, yeah.
Mouth glass for
Mouth-
kids.
Mouth noises. Okay, so I'll give it a tier 2 as well. We open to day 18, and basically a staple of every stocking for your mom. It's Lindt Linder truffles.
I like these. It's for your moms. Oh no.
What do you mean, oh, no?
I don't know why I gave myself this. Chocolata Fabriken Lindt and Sprungi is the company that makes these. They're more commonly known as Lindt.
Joel, is this my Christmas present? Thank you.
The Lindt Lindor truffles. You've probably seen them at Costco, but they are little perfectly spherical balls
Everyone knows what they are.
filled with.
They're little Death Stars of
Oh
joy.
my gosh! Yes. They have the little indent on it, right? They totally do. They do. Oh man!
Do you guys eat the whole thing like a piece of sushi, or do you bite it in half?
I bite it in half.
I alternate.
Okay.
But here's the thing that I find, and I can't explain it.
I like the white chocolate one's best.
But no matter what,
Knock it off.
No matter I'm not saying they have to be in the fridge or anything because they can.
Yeah.
But when I bite into it, the inside always is like cool and refreshing.
Yeah, isn't that weird?
And I'm like, wow, is
magic.
this magic possible?
Yeah.
There are a variety of delicious flavors, and each one has a distinctive color.
Okay.
wrapper.
But I'm going, if I give this as a gift, or if I get it as a gift, I just want the red milk chocolate package because it's consistent. If you get the variety pack, guess what you're getting? Extra dark. Who
Yes.
wants
My
that? Dark
wife.
peppermint, mocha,
Yes.
dark chocolate shell
No.
with orange chocolate filling,
No.
spiced pumpkin.
Those aren't
that's
real.
Truly,
It's just
that's
the
what you're
three-pack.
getting in the variety
No,
pack.
it's the 3-pack.
You also have hazelnut, peppermint, white chocolate, Irish cream, strawberries and cream, blueberries and cream,
Caramel.
lemon, raspberry, mint, vanilla, coconut, gingerbread, Neapolitan, dulce de leche, pistachio, and snickerdoodle.
Those don't exist at Christmas. It's only milk chocolate, dark chocolate, and white chocolate.
And
Hey,
I'm
guys.
okay with all of those.
Stay out of truffle this Christmas. This generally, like you said, this comes from the neighbor who procrastinates the Christmas gift.
And bless them for
But
that.
bless them, honestly,
bless them
truly.
for
You
that.
have two options: the Ferrero Rocher,
Yeah.
which is like, I don't know if I like these, and the Lindt, which is like, you're amazing.
Like if I get these or the Ghirardelli squares, I'm like, I love you
Fun
so
fact,
much.
Lindt actually
Oh, yeah.
bought Ghirardelli
Oh, it makes sense.
back in
it is the same sort of chocolate taste.
1998. And they also brought Russell Stover candies. Lindt has taken over the world.
Happily.
Russell Stover is so bad though.
I don't know. Maybe they say we buy the company, but you still make your crappy chocolate.
Yeah, sure.
But I, tier 1.
Absolutely.
Love
Tier
Lindt truffles.
1, and it's getting a little sultry in here.
I mean, I'm sweating a little bit.
That's a lovely.
I want to
red
jump into the
wrapper you
middle
got
of a
there.
Lindt chocolate ball. Don't worry about it.
We're okay, listener. We're okay.
Oh my goodness. All right, now we're to day 19. We were talking a lot about chocolate there. Let's continue on, but when a chocolate maybe made it home, maybe it came from a tree in the North Pole, it's peppermint chocolate bark.
Peppermint / chocolate bark.
Oh, yeah.
Peppermint bark or chocolate
I've
bark.
only ever had a peppermint bark.
Because there is chocolate bark with
Sometimes they're combined,
with
actually.
like a Heath bars on top of it.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's dark chocolate, white chocolate,
yeah.
and then the peppermint.
I've just had the white chocolate and peppermint mostly.
Yeah, Williams-Sonoma sells these. Ghirardelli, Dove, Jelly Belly does a bag where it's dark chocolate and candy cane jelly beans.
Oh, knock it off.
Peppermint bark recipe.
That's gross.
And this is like peanut brittle, like a sugar glass. You bake it in the pan and then let it cool, and then you smash it up, like Breaking Bad style.
Right.
And
Hey guys, enjoy this holiday treat where the bark and the bite are equally good. Whose bark is worse than its bite?
What other fun facts you got, Joel?
not much except the fact that I love this, and it's tier 1. I will always be happy to get chocolate bark and peppermint bark, especially peppermint bark. So good with white chocolate.
Zach?
White chocolate and peppermint, addicting combo for me.
Oh.
I love this.
I had
Tier 1.
the peppermint bits shake from Chick-fil-A.
Yeah.
Where it's like vanilla ice cream and the peppermint, and it reminded me of this, and I was like, this is a good
Yep.
drink. And
Delicious.
Probably low calories too, right?
Certainly.
I've never had good peppermint or chocolate bark.
Have you had it?
The chocolate is always plasticky.
Have you had
I
it?
like the little
Yeah,
candy cane
it
pieces. I
can
like the
be.
candy cane pieces
Yeah.
in white chocolate, but it's always tasted kind of just bitter. And so for me,
Bitter?
sorry guys, it's a tier 3.
Whoa.
Whoa!
Yeah, the base of the chocolate is never good.
No, you are far off base. You could have at least given it a tier 2. This is chocolate.
I didn't.
This is a solid chunk of chocolate.
I'm really sorry.
It's disgusting.
I know, I agree. That's why I gave it tier 3.
I think your bark
What?
is worse than your bite. I just
Okay,
figure out which
see?
one I want to say that.
Full circle.
Opening the door to day 20. It's chocolate for your grandpa. Chocolate sticks. Orange, raspberry, cherry.
And if you haven't seen these, you
Cherry
probably
Christmas.
don't live around Utah, because this is apparently fairly localized.
Mm-hmm.
Not in the sense of like only Utahns eat it, but the Sweets Candy Company, who makes these classic chocolate covered orange sticks, is actually here in Salt Lake City, Utah. They moved over here in 1900 from Oregon. They were there previously.
Why does the candy box look like a carton of cigarettes? And why did the logs look like cigarettes?
It does.
Chocolate covered cigarettes?
Basically, old little jelly rolls.
That's kind of what they taste like.
That's mean.
This is worse than a chocolate
Is it
orange.
because it's orange jelly in there?
This is worse than a chocolate orange. The jelly.
Okay,
That jelly
but
center.
do you still eat one? You see a little
This
platter.
is not orange flavored. This is orange peel flavored. This is the bitter, acidic horribleness turned into jelly form, which is this gelatinous horribleness.
But do
And
you ever
then-
like suck the chocolate? And you're,
No,
and then
because
get
the
to
chocolate
the
is
jelly roll?
equally as bad.
It's really bad.
These are so terrible. The orange version is the worst. Cherry, I was like, oh, well, cherry I might like. It's not that good either. This is terrible. A tier 3. Maybe my worst tier 3 on the list. Fruitcake's still out there. So I can't say that. But I hate these. Hate them, hate them, hate them.
I still eat one every holiday.
Why?
Because I see the open package and I go, you know what?
You're
Maybe
like
I'll
one of
like it
those
this
monks
time.
that like whips himself.
A little bit. I'm the villain in the Da Vinci Code, apparently.
Yes, you are Paul Bettany.
But it is tier 3 because they are never good.
I think the raspberry ones are fine. I gave them a low tier 2.
Oh my gosh, Zach!
You like Fig Newtons and stuff, don't you?
They're fine.
Okay.
They're whatever.
Fig Newtons are fine.
No, they're
These
Fig
are
Newtons.
garbage
Fig-
trash,
Fig
which is
Newtons.
worse than trash. Or
Garbage trash?
It's garbage trash.
Fig Newtons are sawdust. What are you doing? All right. Now, this is a drink that has some history behind the scenes with Baconsale. I've actually, confession, never had this. So obviously my scoring's a little skew, but it gets its own song. We're wassailing along with wassail.
Here we come a wassailing.
We'd be hard pressed to find better neighbors.
Because the cider.
Or get this, enjoy this wassail with no bad side effects.
I like that one.
But there are bad side effects because this is terrible.
Yeah.
Jumping right out. We've said this many times.
We have, but at the same time, we got to explain to people that this is a hot mulled cider with spices such as cinnamon and cloves.
Yeah, this was originated and created by the drunk Vikings in the 12th century.
It actually comes from the Old Norse word vesheil, which means from hell, I'm pretty sure. No, it means be in good health or be fortunate.
Well, it's funny you brought up hell because I feel like this is like the people that love wassail, they're religious about it. If you start liking this stuff, you have to join a cult.
The cult of wassail.
Oh, yeah. As far as colds go, it wasn't too bad.
Cults or colds?
Well, hey, if you have a cold, maybe this is good. Maybe if you can't
that's
taste
true.
anything,
Yeah,
you
that'd
need
probably
some
make it
like
better.
hot apple juice.
Because they used to make it, and with cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, mold cider,
Mold. Oh,
Mold.
M-U-L-L-E-D.
Although it tastes like mold, but they put slices of toast as sops on the top where it would soak up the juice, and then they'd have a communal bowl and they'd eat the soggy toast out of it.
By the way, in Mystery Science Theater 3000, Crow and Tom Servo describe wassail as skunky.
Yes, that is true.
Makes sense.
That is true. There is a tradition involved with this where an ancient English Yuletide tradition was going door to door and singing for wassail and then drinking it and then going to the next door. So this combines three of my least favorite things: cider, cloves, and going door to door. Tier 3.
It's tier 3 all the way.
I'm sorry, Marley.
Sorry, Marley.
I feel like I might like it more than you guys, but I'm afraid of it because of what you said.
So you've never had it?
No, I've never had it.
I might have to have Marley get you some.
Yeah, I'm willing to try it, but I'm afraid of it because of what you've said, so I'll give it a tier 3.
So we agree it's a tier 3.
Yay!
Even with the caveat that Zach has not tried it.
Baconsale approved.
I feel bad we poisoned the well a bit, but I think also that...
Wassail poisons the well.
Yes, exactly.
Now we open day 22, and this is just a fun, simple thing. Great activity for the kids. We're giving you sugar cookies.
Sugar cookie. Sorry, that's from Making Fiends, if you don't know. But
No.
okay. Sugar cookies, if you don't know what they are, that's kind of weird. They're cookies that you decorate with icing.
Right. The
They're
icing is
oftentimes
so good.
shaped like trees. Those are my favorite. Sometimes Santas. Sometimes
Originated in the
reindeers.
mid-1700s in Nazareth, Pennsylvania, where German Protestant settlers created a round, crumbly, and buttery cookie that came to be known as the Nazareth cookie. And that name related to the sick, so they call it sugar cookies.
They're fun to make and fun to eat, except for those weird giant sprinkles that are balls. Like they're like BBs.
Oh, the metal ones?
Yeah, the metal ones, exactly.
Yeah.
Are they meant to be eaten?
I put them on a BB gun sometimes, and then they dissolve.
I'd say without the frosting, these cookies taste like flour, essentially.
No, they got a nice sweetness to it.
Well, depending on maybe my
More than
recipe
the butter
is bad,
cookies.
but the frosting sells it.
The frosting makes these.
Especially like the Christmas trees, like green frosting.
Well, when you get to decorate them yourself, or even if you get like the really fluffy ones from the store, I like those too.
These are the ones that you gotta like decorate them on Christmas Eve, leave them out for Santa. Like these are really
Not too
fun.
not too many cookies for Santa, please. I mean,
Well,
let's
because they're,
let's not
like-
make his glucose levels shoot up.
because you use like the cookie cutter shape, like whether it's like a stocking or something, they seem like smaller cookies, so you can eat more and justify it.
Yeah.
I'm giving it tier 2. I enjoy them, but I can only eat 1 or 2, basically.
I'm going to give them a tier 2 as well, just because they're the go-to standard, and there is some variation in how they're going to, like how wow they are. Sometimes they're just meh.
When they're good, they're very good.
Yes. Right.
When they're bad, they're mediocre. They're not.
They never get
they're never
bad.
horrible.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I'll also give them a tier 2. Okay. It is now day 23, and we're going to get you a treat that may also double as storage for your ornaments. When you're done, it's a popcorn tin.
Now, the popcorn tin is one of those funny things that I was trying to look around. I didn't find it, but I was like, how did this become a staple that you have cheese, caramel, butter? Those are the kinds that everyone gets.
And when you say
there's-
cheese, you mean like cheese powder.
Yeah, cheese powder.
Caramel powder.
Yeah. I mean,
Butter
there's-
powder.
I mean, when there's a world where zebra popcorn exists, why do you want this tin?
It's true.
It's weird because you get the tin and it's separated, individual bags, and
Yes.
then the little divider.
But here's the thing, it's $5 at Walmart, a giant tin, right? You can snack on probably one. It's like Neapolitan ice cream. You're like, I like maybe 2 of these, maybe 2 of these. And then the butter one always kind of goes left for wanting.
Question.
Yes.
Do you guys eat them like in a mix altogether, or do you eat
No,
them
one
separately?
at a time. Very kosher.
Do you don't remove the divider and shake it up?
No.
Yeah.
That's
people do.
perverted.
Yeah.
No, because the caramel one's not
Caramel
very
and
good.
cheese together. Mm.
No, that's called Chicago style, I think they call it, where it's like caramel and cheese together.
Yeah,
in one
never go to
bag.
Chicago, by the way. And I like butter popcorn. Like if I'm going to eat popcorn, it's straight up butter popcorn. I never like the butter popcorn in these tins.
It's never good.
As
No.
far as popcorn goes, it is definitely not very good.
Right.
So you kind of use it to cut the caramel if it's too much or whatever. But yeah, I have had them both ways where you take the divider out and mix it up. But then once Costco started selling the Chicago mix stuff, that became irrelevant. And
Because the butter is lesser because the cheese is there.
Yes.
You have the cheese, which is boom, a flavor, and then you get the butter, and it's like,
That's how it smells when you open the tin, too.
Yeah. And I think the problem is, like, if you do put them all together, the caramel settles. So you got to keep them separate. And then you can control your portions.
Which caramel settles?
Yeah, because they're heavier, they fall to the bottom.
Okay.
But which is your favorite?
I mean, it's the cheese because it's unique.
Really?
Yeah.
I'm going with the caramel.
No.
Really?
Homemade caramel popcorn is amazing. It's the best thing you can eat.
But it is tin.
I don't like it in the tin.
Caramel corn.
It's too flaky.
By the way, I believe it is the Walmart ones. The Gourmet Gift Concepts is the manufacturer.
Yes, yeah.
They said they sell 4.5 million tins every holiday season.
It's a real trap because you'll be watching like a movie over Christmas, and all of a sudden you'll be like elbow deep into one of these things, and you're like, "Whoa, wow! I guess I really do like this." I give it a tier 2 because I will probably 1/3 or 2/3. Never mixing though, Chicago, but I like it. I don't love it.
Joel, what do you give it?
A reluctant tier 3.
Okay.
It was the middle of the road, but it kept getting pushed down, and I was like, if I get this, I really am only excited for the caramel portion. Because the butter one, like we said, it's never quite as good.
Right.
And the cheese one is fine, but it's never great.
Yeah,
Yeah, and that's
and
my
you get
thing.
the Cheetos dust on your fingers too.
Yeah.
These are a legendary part of Christmas. They're a required thing. The tins are often very cool looking. They are a good decoration and everything. But for some reason, it is always underwhelming. It should be better than it is. So
Right.
tier 2 for me as well. Now, finally, we are to Christmas.
It's the day
Eve.
before Christmas.
It's the day before Christmas.
Woo!
The 24th day of
Night before
December.
Christmas.
How are we going to celebrate?
We're open up the door, and I hope that hasn't been sitting here the whole time. It's eggnog.
It's in the fridge.
Okay.
So eggnog historically has been known as milk punch by some, or holiday sludge.
Oh, holiday sludge
when you add
sounds so
alcoholic beverages
good.
to it. Because some people do have like a bourbon or a rum to it.
Okay.
It's traditionally made with milk, cream, sugar, whipped egg whites, and egg yolks, which gives it its frothy texture. And then you put a little cinnamon and nutmeg in there.
I'm glad you guys saved this to last because my best pun is for eggnog. It's
Oh,
not
boy.
very good either.
Oh, no.
But if I'm going to give this to someone, you can give it to anyone because it's just a holiday treat. And I would say, whether you're Christian, atheist, or agnostic,
Oh, gall.
happy holidays.
Agnostic.
Bow.
That was good. I like
I'll
that.
give that. I'll give that.
Okay,
Yeah.
so I need to know,
Yeah.
how do you guys drink your eggnog? This is very controversial.
Okay.
In the cup.
Okay, so you have a little quart of eggnog. Mm-hmm. You have a
Like
big tall
the
glass.
green paper
Yes.
one from the store.
That costs $4.29. You have a big glass. What do? You have stuff in the fridge.
80% eggnog, 20% milk, sprinkle of cinnamon.
You got cinnamon on hand?
Yeah.
Fancy.
It already has cinnamon in it.
Yeah.
A little bit more.
20% milk. Is this like 1% milk? Doesn't
Cut it
matter?
a little bit because then it doesn't quite stick to the roof of your mouth.
But you put the milk in first because you need to. Otherwise, the milk sits atop
No, I
the
actually,
eggnog.
it's very entertaining if you watch, like, you give like a good fast pour of eggnog. There's always like a bubble that comes up. With
Yeah,
it.
when you say entertaining,
Yeah.
you're quite bored.
Fun fact: this is actually they've been
The holidays are boring.
This drink also is called an egg flip because of how the practice of flipping, rapidly pouring the mixture between two pitchers to mix it. That's how they did it.
Okay.
So you're doing what they did, Zach.
So, Joel, how do you prepare it?
I drink it straight up.
Whoa, take it easy.
But let's hear me out. I do like what do they call it? A single?
Yeah.
Like it's just like it's not the full cup. This is like a
I like
bottom
how
of the cup.
most of the world drinks this with alcohol.
Yeah.
And I'm calling you crazy for drinking straight eggnog.
No, it's like a treat for me. It's not like I'm drinking this like with my breakfast in the morning. It's like I get a little bit at the bottom of my cup and I kind of just sip at it.
There are times where I'm like, oh, I miss lunch. You know what? A giant glass of eggnog's going to have
Yeah.
to do. And it feels like
On
a
a
smoothie.
warm day.
I am similar to you. I do about 25 to 30% because
Milk.
I'm quite Jewish, and so I like to preserve
Stretch it out.
the eggnog
Stretch
as
it
much
out.
as I can.
Yeah.
And I do milk first, and then I do the eggnog, so it mixes up a little bit
It's
better.
actually fun. On the night of recording, so just earlier tonight, my 6-year-old stepson, we're having dinner, and he decides, hey, can I have some of that eggnog? Because I have some eggnog in the fridge right now. And we're like, sure, maybe try it.
'Cause you don't know
first.
if kids like
I don't
it or
know.
not.
Yeah,
Yeah, right.
like
Hit
my
and
dad
miss.
put like watered down eggnog in my bottle as a baby, apparently.
Yeah.
But so he's like, he tries it. He drinks this whole cup.
Yeah.
And he like keeps going, and we're like, oh, he might like it. He sets it down. We're like, do you want some more? He's like, no.
Did I just drink an egg yolk?
Yeah, he was confused. He
Well,
didn't
that
like
makes
it.
it
Because it's very sweet.
But it's
It is very rich.
And the
Eggy.
texture and the egginess of it.
Yeah.
And they used to use raw eggs in it. And even though, the chances of eggs having salmonella are relatively low, but the consequences are so high, people are very cautious about it. They pasteurize the eggs now, and a lot of mass manufacturers use gelatin now instead of eggs. Well,
Yeah.
they use some egg, but not as much.
All right.
To thicken it up.
Sure.
By the way, this is also, I mean, the term eggnog has been used since like 1700s. It came from a drink called posset, which was a British drink. It was a hot milk that was curdled with wine or ale. And then they started getting eggnog, and it was used as a medical treatment for a while to treat colds.
Do you guys ever drink eggnog out of season?
Well, so it depends on when you define season. Because I start drinking eggnog fairly early, but I specifically get
November 1st?
the pumpkin spice eggnog.
Gross.
Yep,
It's fine.
I love
It's fine.
it. I love it.
Get out.
I always tell myself, I'm like, after New Year's, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to buy eggnog in like May and enjoy it. But I can't bring myself to do it because
You have to go there with like a trench coat
Yeah,
and a hat
basically.
and brown paper bag.
So I look forward to eggnog. This is the first thing I celebrate Christmas with. This is the holiday season introduction. This is the top of the tier 1 for me.
Oh, wow.
It's straight up tier 1.
This, by the way, they came out with Halloween eggnog. And I saw it and I was like, yes, please, Halloween themed drink. And I started drinking in October and I just went, this feels wrong.
Yeah.
This is regular
This
eggnog
feels
with
wrong.
it's like a
You
black
heard
and
Mariah
white
Carey,
box.
and you were pushing it back. No, not yet.
Not yet, not yet. 53.5 million bottles were purchased of eggnog, were purchased in 2019.
I bought a couple
Americans
million.
spent $185 million on eggnog. But we are down. The consumption of eggnog is down 42% since 1969.
Come on, people.
Less and less people are drinking this, Kent. You want to know why? Because they don't like it. I do, though. It's a tier 1.
Oh, I was like, no.
This is, and the funny thing is, my dad hates this.
Still.
He hates this drink. This is like, he will not allow it. The game was, back in the day, if we could sneak a carton of eggnog in the shopping cart, we were at the grocery store with him.
He wouldn't even let you buy it?
No, but if we could sneak it in the grocery cart, if we got to the checkout counter and it was in the cart, he had to buy it. So we'd like put it in, and he'd get like, we'll go down the cereal aisle and be like, wait, what's this? And pull it, like, put it back, because he caught us. But if we get it to the end, we could buy it and drink it. But now that I'm in my own house, I can drink it whatever I want.
Is that why you drink it straight to like rebel now?
Yeah, it's like,
Look, Dad, I can do whatever I want.
my father wouldn't let me
In
drink
your shot
this.
glass.
Swirling it around. No, but I do enjoy it. It is in moderation. This is not something I can just drink and drink and drink and drink and drink.
I'd say a
because
giant glass a day.
there is. I just had to be cautious because there's cinnamon and nutmeg in this, which gets dangerously close to my pumpkin spice not
Sure.
liking. But there's no cloves. So this is a clove-free, beautiful zone of eggnog, tier 1.
I am
Tastes like Christmas.
about halfway through my third half gallon of eggnog already this
mercy.
season because, like I said, I've had 2 half gallons of pumpkin
Yeah.
spice eggnog, and then I'm like just doing a regular one right now. Obviously, I love this. It's awesome. I have 1 glass a day, usually in the evening, and yeah, it's a tier 1 for me.
We agree.
I
Yeah.
think that's the
It's a
only tier
Christmas
1
miracle.
we've agreed on.
2 others. Yes. So
Mercy.
Let's talk what we agreed on
Okay.
real fast. So we all gave a tier 1 to hot chocolate.
Yes.
We all gave a tier 1 to Linder truffles.
Yes.
And we all gave a tier 1 to eggnog.
Beautiful.
That's a
Honorable
Christmas.
mention, we all gave a tier 2 to sugar cookies.
All right, makes
did
sense.
agree.
Cookie.
And then we all gave tier 3s to fruitcake,
Yep.
spice drops, and wassail.
Yep.
All fair and balanced. Mm-hmm. Now, this is what we do here on Baconsale. We do this so we can give you the guide of what you should think.
I actually totally agree with that. Thank you, Joel.
But we want to know your thoughts. We've done this with 24 different treats. 8 tier 1s, 8 tier 2s, 8 tier 3s.
And the tier police. Everything's good.
Yeah,
You guys-
we good?
you
All
did
right,
great.
perfect.
Yep.
But we want to know your thoughts, listener. And did we miss any amazing Christmas treats that you have that you're like, oh, I can't believe they didn't talk about this? Let us know on Facebook. Let us know on Instagram. Let us know on Twitter. We're there. We're listening. We want to see your tears. And be creative if you want.
And hear your tears.
And hear your tears because we didn't put toffee on the list or
Right.
something.
Ah,
Yeah.
toffee
Toffee's
be
so
tier
good.
1.
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah.
But before we go, we have some patrons we'd like to thank, including the I Am the Listener tier, where we have Adam and Rachel Crump, Alicia Bass, Allison Gall, Babs, Bacon Council member Wannabe Kyler, Braden Winterton, Casey Cummings, Glow Clendaniel, Jake the Cooler King Swallow, Jennifer Kilkowski, Lady Terry A. Finley, Sir and Madam Hicks, Rocky and Steph, Scott Sprague, and Shannon West. Then on our Bacon Council, we have Beaker, Dead Chris Walking, Her Royal Highness Jessica Terry, Mats, Nicole Postal Elf number 29 Hale, our favorite couple, the Madsons, Reverse Listener, Brian and Marley Farron, and Stephen Ross. I see I did it in a different order. It was alphabetical this time.
Good job.
That's why I
Wow.
felt a little
Fancy.
bit
All right.
weird.
Thank
Yeah.
you, patrons. In any order Zach puts you in, or I put you in, or Kent puts you in.
Happy
we
holidays.
We appreciate you.
Indeed.
Yes. Thank you. But if you want to find me, you can find me at 76Joel on Twitter, or you can find me performing with Quick Wits. They perform Saturday nights at the Midvale Performing Arts Center. For more details, go to qwcomedy.com or go to the Quick Wits Facebook page.
If you want to find me on Twitter or Instagram, it's at Kenny3DD. If you want to read my movie reviews, it's ShowtimeShowdown.com.
If you want to sit down for 30 minutes and tell me about your favorite Christmas treats and maybe get a haircut and give me some money.
And a soft handshake.
No, firm handshakes only. Visit BlakesBarbershop.com to schedule an appointment. Also, if you want to connect with me on social media, you can do so at Tumbling Mustard on Twitter and Instagram. But more importantly, make sure you're following Baconsale on social media. Go ahead and like that Facebook page, as well as follow on Instagram and Twitter at Baconsale. And make sure you keep an eye on that, because we may be doing something fun over our little holiday break, like we did last year. So again, follow us on social media. While you're doing that, stop by tpublic.com/Baconsale. Once again, we have new merch. Merry Merchmas, Merchy Christmas, whatever we called it.
Both work.
Yeah, it's fine. Stop by. Again, we've got new designs. There are Christmas-specific designs. You'll want to get those right away. Because, again, with shipping and everything, you might not get it before Christmas. So get yourself a new T-shirt or one for somebody in your life that
Or
you
a
love.
hoodie because it's cold.
Hoodies because they're cold. I honestly think the sweater design on a sweater looks really cool. So you should get that. tpublic.com/Baconsale. And then if you like what's going on here and you want to support us further, visit patreon.com/Baconsale, where support starts at just $3 a month. You can get access to all sorts of fun things, including Bacon Bits. We only have one more left for the year. But you can listen to the most recent Bacon Bit, where we talk about what we did on Spotify this year. And it's apparently really bad content. So visit patreon.com/Baconsale to find out. So until next time, guys, I would like to go out and carol with our friends. Let's sing that classic song, but we're going to replace it with eggnog, shall we? Here we go, and eggnogging among the leaves so green.
I did kiss my wife, by the way, after that show. So just
Gross. Knock it off.
at least once. I'm nothing if not anal retentive.
Gross, Joel. I'm from a rough part of Utah, so I make it into a weapon of the holidays. And then it's just the taste of being done with your Mexican food.
Either one. It's
Okay,
blue.
it's blue, right?
I'm happy.
No.
Shut up, kids.
I get the ganache.
Sometimes ganache is ganud.
As we all know, like Europe doesn't really have any taste buds.
Yes.
Everything.
So I like food that has a self-imposed limit.
Oh, listener, open your eyes. If you're driving,
Joe, open your eyes. I should have put a disclaimer before. Oh no!
shame on you.
Their blood is on my hands.
These remind me of the grandma I never had. None of these are good, Joel. Lower your expectations.
Guys.
Joel, just like you, these pretzels aren't naughty because they don't have knots in them. It's a straight pretzel, Joel. This
person
is your
next to me's
gluttonous
cup.
month, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's face it. When is my gluttonous month? Of
course
so you
you
guys
did.
have agreed every single time.
Because we're
Yeah.
right.
They're tier 1 for the table
Love?
slamming alone. You monster. Who hurt you?
Chocolate and orange hurt me.
I can commit any crime now because I have no fingerprints because of making hard candy. Hey, mouth glass. How are we doing?
They're little Death Stars of joy.
Tier 1, and it's getting a little sultry in here.
I mean, I'm sweating a little bit.
That's a lovely.
I want to jump into the middle of a Lindt chocolate ball.
No, these are
news.
garbage trash,
Big news.
which is worse than trash.
That's mean.
I'm gagging.
Because of wassail.
I feel bad we poisoned the well a bit, but I think also that
Wassail poisons the well.
yes, exactly.
Do you don't remove the divider and shake it up?
No.
Yeah.
That's
people do.
perverted.
Yeah.
You have the cheese, which is boom, a flavor, and then you get the butter, and it's like. Boop, boop, boop. Now, this is what we do here on Baconsale. We do this so we can give you the guide of what you should think.
Also, if you
Whoa, sorry.